Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
No.
For lo,
thy enemies make a trouble.
Thy enemies make a trouble.
They that hate thee.
And they that hate
Have
thee.
lifted up the head.
Have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy
And
people.
consulted
And consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones. They have said,
Let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
That the name of
may
Israel
be no more remembered.
may be no more in remembrance.
They have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are conspiring against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Shabal,
the Baal
and Ammon,
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Hey, Ron, you got the
Also
same
joined with them.
After also is joined with them.
Over the children of Lot,
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them,
do unto them.
to the Midianites, as to the Sarah,
Two to seven. That's two to men.
What's going on, brother, man? You know the whole salute yet? No. We're gonna go over there right now in a minute. Right now. 85, right? Yeah, 195, right? Yeah. All right. Time do I have 85?
continue. They have opened the children of Lot,
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
to them,
do unto them
to the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites, as do to seven, as do to men, and the brook of their sons, which perished at
they
Endor,
became as
it became as naught for the earth.
Hey, Hakim, can you just hold off on putting the oil on everybody? Just hold off on it. Everybody come on in. Let's get on in here, y'all. We one nation, not two, three, or four. Let's do it all together. Let's get it in. Everybody get in. Find you a spot for you and your family. I purposely made it tight. See, I was wrong. Israel blew it away as usual. Y'all make room, get in. Come on in. Get in. Come on, let them in. Come on. Come on. Come on in, Israel. Come on in. This is your family. Donation.
But I already, you don't gotta do nothing. Next
Make some room, make some room. Build the tables. Every chair and table is needed, y'all. Y'all get everybody in, help them out, work together. Come on in for these prayers, man. Get them in. I see some empty seats over here. Can you get somebody at the table? Got some seats along the side right here. Seats over here. Y'all got those. Anybody else with any empty seats, put your hand up. Tell people to come on through. Look at these hands. This is your empty seats. Come get these seats. You sisters with children, get the seats. Brothers, whomever, come on in. Come on. Look how much of our people we almost left outside. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. Put them hands up one more time for them, y'all. Y'all make your way over to them seats and them tables. All right? Make your way over to them. All right, let's get it in. You good?
Continue. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like the end. Hey. All their princes.
As the Bible. And as our movement.
Who say, let us take to ourselves.
The houses of the Most High possession.
Oh my power.
Make
them like they will.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the flame set the mountains on fire. And as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
And
then they seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
In trouble forever.
Hey.
Let
them be put to shame.
And perish.
Then
they know. That God,
alone.
whose name alone is Yahweh. On the Most High. Over all the earth. So the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. It's HAZAHAB Yahweh. Alawak Yahweh. Ha Alawak. Ha Surrender. Ha Quintazayanya. Ha Fayayawda. Wa Ha Aklafkin. Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh. The Wada Amon.
Let's do Yahweh. And Yahweh.
And
Michael.
And Mike.
And the angels.
Commanding
General Yahweh.
The
generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh. Thank you.
So be.
So big.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
All things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And speak against us.
And speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
And shake loose the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And
their drug dealers.
their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek, synagogues, and armies,
Amalek, synagogues,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads.
Okay. Right. Friday night, guys. Friday night at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Every Friday night is Hebrew class, where we were giving you everything you need to know about Hebrew. I want to welcome our young brother to the class. What's your name, brother?
Darren.
Darren. Good to meet you. My name is HAZAHAB. Right. So, Officer HAZAHAB, right? Okay. So what we're gonna be doing is, my job is gonna be to make sure that, by the time Yahushua returns, you are able to communicate in the Israelites' ancient Hebrew, according to the Bible. Okay? So, yeah, definitely get yourself situated. Let me help you out right here. Right. Move these chairs. By the way, chair in Hebrew is kasah. I'm gonna put that on the board, right? And the best way to learn Hebrew or to learn any language is just to think about how children learn a language. All right, so I'll put chair because I just moved the chair, right? Okay, you got your pen and paper ready. Okay, chair, right? Chair is kasa, right? Kasa. In the Bible, it's called as a throne. A throne is a chair. All right. So we come up in the ISBK to change our lives, to become newborn according to the Bible, according to our King Yahushua the Christ. We come up in the school to become like newborn babies. All right. To be born again. And in being born again, you're gonna have to be taught all over again to be someone that you was not raised to be like in the world. You're being raised to be a new person in the truth. And by the way, when Yahushua returns, it's not magic. I know a lot of people think when Yahushua returns, everybody all of a sudden is going to be agreeing. That's not how it goes according to the Bible. All right? According to the Bible, the brothers that agreed with Moses lived. Okay? If you did not agree with Moses, you died. Right? The brothers that agreed with Noah lived. Who's that? Nobody. Sheesh. Salakia. I'm with the flat, but that was a sad scenario. Right? If you disagreed with Noah and the prophecies that God gave Noah, you died. There was no right at the end when the Lord is about to destroy everybody with water the last time, and he's going to do with fire this time. Right at the end, everybody's gonna see eye to eye when it starts raining. You're gonna die in the rain. Or the fire that's coming is made for brothers to die in the fire. Let me get rain. Rain is matar. Matar. Right, I'm gonna erase all these words in a minute. Rain, water, rain rains water, right? Put water. Good words to know. Water. Mayam. Fire, which is what's coming. Fire. Fire is ash. Okay, fire is ash. With fire and chair, they said the Lord's throne is made out of fire. To say chair, fire chair, right? You say chair, to say chair of fire, right? Chair of fire. So we can get some understanding of how Hebrew would be written. Chair of fire. This is in the book of Daniel, where the Lord's throne is made of fire. All right, chair of fire would be, I take this kasar right here, right? And I put kasar right here. In Hebrew, we say of by saying ma. Ma. Ma is of. All right. And that ma is joined to the word which is talking about. It's not written separately. Ma'ash. And I say that to say about the it's the thing that's not magic when Harishah returned is, just like the book of Nehemiah, you're not gonna just have an overall magical turning and there's no Hebrew. Right? You have to learn it. If you learn it now, you learn it then. You be learning it then when other brothers have, whoever grasped onto it. You want to make sure that you grasp onto it as soon as you can. Right? The kingdom is within you. Right? You will teach other men Hebrew. All right, UPK is small right now, and it's definitely growing. UPK is like an amazingly large organization of brothers. I believe we're in every state. There's businesses. There's not many businesses. White man's businesses that I can say is in every state, besides probably Walmart. Right, probably Walmart. You know what I mean? Maybe CVS, T-Mobile, but the UPK is like got like T-Mobile coverage up here. You see what I'm saying? Brothers have come to the truth by the amazing works of Commander Gianna. From New York to California to a brother, I made a scroll for a brother in Omaha, Nebraska. Okay, so that's to let you know how what's going on with the school. The school is big, and that video I posted before, right, was a Passover, where they was bringing out the prayers. Anybody that has any questions online or in the classroom about anything, the prayers that you want to understand, if there's a prayer that you want to learn the words to, we can do that here. Okay, those prayer words are very essential to our growth in Hebrew, being that we say them all the time, and when you say them, you should know what they mean. Okay. If you're saying them, you should know what you mean. All right, you should definitely know what they mean. All right, okay, know everything about the school. That's how I was taught growing up in here under General Hyman. He used to give these hints to basically just know everything that's going on in the school. Don't be a guy who's in the dark about where you're in. All right, and it's good to know where you're in. It's good to understand what you're going through. It makes things easier. Okay, definitely, right? I'm gonna get the salute, right, for young brother Darren, right, and for all the new people coming online. I see a lot of troopers added me on Facebook, which is good, right? There's a whole lot of troopers that they added me, so the school is always growing. If you don't grow, you die. Okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna erase rain, water, fire, right? Right. Just rain, water, and fire. I'm gonna erase that. And also we welcome any questions from friend or foe about the Hebrew in this class here, right? If you got a friend or a foe and you have a sincere question, right, you put it in the chat and we'll answer it. All right. I've been getting hit all week about the shield of David. All right. About what it is, why we use it. Is it the star of Remphan? Is it even a star? Because stars in the Bible are in the sky. You know what I mean? Or should I give it away? A celebrity, right? Celebrities are stars, right? So what is the star of Remphan? What is the shield of David? Why is it written like what we call a star today? I want to go into that too. John Muhammad made a quote about whales in the Bible, about what is said in Hebrew. We want to get to that. I want to get to that right after I make the salute. All right, good. So the salute that we make, right, to another brother, which is by law, you must say the salute in Hebrew. Lord and Christ is only a salute if your head is covered, right? Yahweh Shai, and this is what I learned growing up. It is mandatory to salute another brother in the Hebrew. All right, I'm not talking about by text on all that. When you see a brother, you have to greet him in Hebrew. You do not greet a brother with like how my head is uncovered, right? I'm wearing a mitre, right? So the rule as an Israelite is you don't pray. A salute is a prayer, right? You don't pray with your head on covered. You don't pray with your head covered. You must uncover your head. So it's like I got my mitre on right now, right? My head is not covered. Okay. The scripture talk about the same part where you will get bald when you're older. That's the part that must be uncovered. The crown of your head that gets bald when you're older, right? It must be uncovered when you're praying or saluting. It's the same reason you take your hat off at the dinner table to pray. All right, good. Now, my head is covered. You understand? I take this off. My head is uncovered, right? Because my crown is uncovered. Two out of two, Kevin. You know what I mean? Okay. So when you're in class, we're reading the scriptures. You're getting the messages from the Most High. You must uncover your head. All right. For a brother, for a sister, she has to cover her head, according to I think it's Corinthians. All right. All right. So the salute is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Barak Atah. That's what we say to the brothers. You might have heard it last night at the end of class. We saluted, right? And then for the sisters, Yahweh, Shamar, Alatha, Bahashem, Yahushai. I'll break it down right now what those are, right? Yahweh. Yahweh. Right? That's God's name. God's name. Right? It's the same name that the Lord put at the beginning of Judah. Judah's name. That's how his name became Yahweh Da. Right? His name means to praise the Lord. Hawadah means pray, and Yahweh is, God's name. Yahweh, Hawadah. You put those together, you get Yahweh. All right, that's how Judah's name was made. All right. Then we got Ba Ha Shum. Ba Ha Shum. The Shum right here is the main part. We'll partition it off a little bit so you can get our understanding. All right. Okay. The Shum is name. Right? Name. Okay. Ha is the. Right? And then Ba is in. So what we're saying is in the name. Right? I want to write this in red too. I'd rather. I should have wrote the salute in the red. I like the red. The red is very bright. The red do not work. So, I'll just use the green. But, I don't want to burn too much time on presentation, man. But, Okay. So Yahweh is God's name. Right? Bahashem. In the name of who? In the reputation of who are we coming in God's name? Right? In the name says what doctrine you follow. Okay? There's many who come in the doctrine of Martin Luther King. You could say God in the name of our Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Then I know what you're coming with. You're coming with, I got a dream that little black boys and white girls will hold hands. Or you could come in the Hawabashim of Moses. You come in the name of Moses. Then I know that, you are into, you're still into sacrificing animals. If I'm coming in the name of Christ, and I'm standing behind what Christ stood for, right? And Christ came to replace, right, to have his disciples and all tribes replace the Levites as the priests. Okay, and that's what we're coming in. We're coming in with all 12 tribes. We replace the Levites. That is the doctrine of Christ. All right. Okay. Now you don't sacrifice a lamb. You sacrifice your spirit. Have a contrite spirit. That's what you sacrifice for sins now. All right. There's no more sacrifice for sins with animals. All right. You give up your old. You give up the old man. You put on a new man. Right. That's your sacrifice, and you must endure to the end. All right. Okay. So we're gonna write Yahushua's name. Yahawashai. All right. That's who the world ignorantly calls, in a Greek transliteration, Jesus Christ, right? That would be, they call it a transliteration. I don't want to put the word transliteration. I don't want to confuse nobody. Let me just put it. I'm gonna put Jesus, because that's what it transliterates from, all right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? The word Christ is not in Yahweh. Christ means to be the king, anointed to be the king, all right? That's what Christ means, all right? But the culture is just to write the name of the king, right? How about Hashem, Yahushai? And then let me remove this chair right here. Write the king's name separately from the other words after, right? Okay. Then it's Barak. Barak. And we're not talking about Barack Obama, but his name, he's a Muslim, right? So the Arabic culture is a bastard child of Hebrew. His name also meant the same thing, right? But Barak in the Hebrew means blessed. All right, blessed. Okay. And then we have Athar, Barak Athar. Athar. Right? Where Athar is formally how you say you, right? You say Athar in important conversations. In common talk, we won't say Athar, but we'll cover that later. All right, we might see that in the verses we're gonna bring out a little later. Okay, so that's the greeting for the brothers. Bring the camera a little forward so everybody can see online a little better. All right. Okay. America is burning. What's going on, young man Jordan? Good to see you out. All right, definitely, man. You have any questions? Let me know. You heard something? Let me know. There's a rumor about something. Let me know. There's something anybody disagrees with online. Let me know. We'll cover that. Okay. Also to let you know why we speak this dialect. Let me see. We got the book. All right. As to how the head priest came to this particular dialect of Hebrew. We are familiar with there's another man walking around saying he is the Israelite. You know, looks nothing like the hieroglyphs, but he's saying that he's the Israelite. There's a caveman, a European man walking around saying he's the Jew. He's the one who looked just like the Egyptians. You know, he's the one who worked so hard and built them pyramids on the 400 years of bondage under them Africans in Egypt. All right, we have a book here. The head priest found this. Commander Johanna was with I believe it was head priest Marsha Salakia. Commander Johanna found this book in the library and brought this to head priest Marsha. That's what he told me. All right. He brought this book to the head priest. This is the book from, right? It's called the Biblical Hebrew, right? Because the Biblical Hebrew is what we spoke and wrote, and we wrote down how we spoke. So you don't want modern Hebrew, you want the Biblical Hebrew. Because that Biblical Hebrew contained the Israelites' common tongue. The everyday, all the slang is in the Bible, and King James, to get the King James Version, he had to have people who were familiar with the common talk of the Hebrews and to understand the slang of the Hebrew, to know what everything meant, right, in its accuracy. All right. This book is from Yale University. Yale University. Who can afford to go there? Not me. All right. We just go to UPK instead for free. All right. I pay my tithes and get the same education as Yale. That's it. All right. Don't need $1 million. You just come into UPK, and it says the Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world. All right. That's what it is. The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world. People say, "Oh, but the Hebrew and is a fake culture and this and that." No, according to Yale University, according to the white man's education, the Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world. There's none older than the Hebrew. According to the Bible, it's the first language. It's the language of Adam. It's the language that God gave man. Okay, good. Still in use today because, of course, some of these people here are Jewish scholars, and we're going to bring out something from Jewish scholars. All right, Bonnie Petrardi and Vicky Hoffer, right, and Rebecca Ash Wright. All right, these are this is a Jewish woman. You know what I mean? Vicky Hoffer is some professional English scholar. All right, and Bonnie Petrardi Kiddo, she's supposed to be some Italian Jewish woman, I believe, right? Don't quote me on that last one with Bonnie Petrardi Kiddo. I haven't went over them names in a while, right? But we studied them. We studied these people also, right? Okay, and it says after Hebrew is the oldest language, it says our own alphabet, referring to the English. Our own alphabet, ABC, is a descendant of it by a circuitous route. So where would you find a white man anywhere in the world, even on TV, anywhere, saying that English is born out of Hebrew? Nobody admits to that. But that's what they're teaching in Yale University. Top universities in the country, probably some of the top universities in the world. Right? The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development. What does that mean? The same way how English progressed from Old English into New English, the Israelites had their own errors and advancement of their own language. So we're going to get something from Genesis and the Hebrew in Genesis. Later on, when they get to Psalms, the Hebrew in Psalms is more advanced and has more different slang and has more compounding from the Hebrew that we've learned in Genesis. We plan to cover all of that in the days to come, all right? The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development. Now, it says originally, in the origin, only the consonants were used. What are they referring to? In the modern Hebrew used by Jewish people, while they say it's still in use today by them, they use vowels in their Hebrew. What they're saying is originally, those vowels were not there. Originally, only the consonants were used. So I'm gonna give you, Darren. I'm gonna give you a Hebrew sheet, right, of all of the consonants that they are referring to in that book. Okay. 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 So for everybody online, you should have one of these. If you don't have one, you can definitely get one, a copy from your camp leader in whatever city you are in. I see brothers in there from South Carolina and California. All right. And what's that from again? Michigan. All right. If you don't have one, your peers need one. Get one from your camp leader. All right. So Jordan, this one is for you right here, bro. All right. Nice clean one for you right there. All right. So originally only the consonants were used. These were the consonants, which means we did not have European vowels. The same way how we say the letter J didn't exist until the 1700s. The King James Bible doesn't even have a J on it. It has an I for the J. Okay. The same way how the U wasn't invented until the Greeks. They called it an upsilon. All right. There was no letter U. The vowels are new. All right. Everything we see here is what the world today would call consonants. Okay. And it goes as, I'm going to read it with you, Darren, all right? And after I read it, I'm going to have you say it to me just so I can check your pronunciation, all right? Just to make sure that when you leave here, you can have an idea of how it's pronounced with your own mouth, all right? So I'm going to start from the beginning. So in Hebrew, we read from right to left. It's not in English where you start from the right, from the left side of the paper. You're going to go to the right side of the paper, right? Who knew that the word was upside down? We're all reading backwards when we read in English, right? The right way was to read from the right, okay? So I'm going to start from the first character, which says ah, right? You ready, Darren?
Yeah.
All right. Put your finger on to the first one on the right. And we're going to go across slowly, all right? Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, kha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, sa. Good. Okay. Yes, sir.
Does it show you how to pronounce it, how you just said it right there? Or does it go a lot by y'all like that?
They do it in the Jewish way.
Jewish way.
Come on, sir. I think it's in the page ahead over here. Let me see what they got over here. Okay, here's what they got over here. Okay, or rather, they show their estimate of what it means.
Oh, okay.
So they wrote they got the name of it and then they got the sound. They put the I as silent. I ain't know that. Aleph, then how if it's silent, how you got Aleph? All right, that's kind of the Jewish way, I guess, right? Okay. They put the letter sounds like an individual letter, like B. And for the I don't know what this is, right? They got ba ga. They put a vet before the ga. They put a V in their joint, and they put a parenthesis to say that's not real. that's what a parenthesis right there means in the vet. I mean that's not real. That's fake. All right. They wrote Aleph to say Allah, to say the eye is the figure of a cow. It's a cow's head. Aleph, right? Or today they call it alpha, right? From the Greeks and Romans. Allah, bayat is a tent. Skip that vet, right? Because that's not real. Gamal is a camel, right? Dalat is a door. They put hey is not a word, right? But hana is supposed to mean behold. Wow, they put a vav. Wow is a fish hook. Zayan is a weapon. You see how they put the I in there, or that all that is European vowels at it. That's incorrect. You know what I mean? That's contaminated. What's that they got there? Oh, it's supposed to be the ka. They don't know what the ka is. They don't know what the ha is, and they don't know what the ka is. So they just put he and het. This is a ka. right, to say kawama, right, which is a fence. What is this here? Abagada, hawaza, kata. They put tet, tet, all the ets and the tets and that. That's to say they don't know what it is. All right, that tet, there's no tet in Hebrew. You go in the Strong's Concordance. Does not exist. Right? Tana'ah is the bottom of a basket. It's a circle that you made with the willow bush, and you put an X with the willow bush, and then you weave around the X to make that bottom of the basket. Yod is a hand. All right. Abagada hawaza kataya ka. That ka is to say cup. They changed they P's into F's. Right? There's no F in Hebrew. There's no F's in Hebrew. There's no V's in Hebrew. That's Europeanization again. You turn the P's into F's. It's how you could have a pharmacy where it sounds like a F, but they wrote it with a P. All right, it's the complexity in languages, right? Becoming European. All right, the B also, the B became the V. I don't know what they got over here, right? But they put the V right behind the B, right? Because the V comes from the B. Okay, one time there's a place called Cordoba, Spain. Today you don't call it Cordoba, you call it Cordova. All right. Good. Kataya ka. Lamad. Right. Lamad means learn. Let the camera focus up. Lamad means learn. Right. Mayam means water. Nawan means sprout. Right. They wrote none. They wrote that none the same way for the man's name who was Nawan, Joshua's dad. Joshua's dad named Sprout. All right. And after we got Samak, they wrote Sameh, they wrote Samak. That dot underneath there is to say it's the same H right here with the dot underneath it. All right, if you can see that there's a dot underneath this H right here. That's to say this H is not the regular H. Right? They call that a dagesh. These dots, they call them a dagesh. It's garbage. Right? It's the European way to try to understand a language that's not theirs. They're trying to make it work for themselves. Okay, so that H with a dot underneath it is the same H at the dot over here to say samak. All right, and here's another thing too. When we write samak in the Hebrew, it's not with a ka or a H. It's a K. Slug it. Go ahead, Darren.
If the writing is from right to left, this is how we write kasha.
Oh, let me see. So okay, you trying to translate it already? That's very good. Yeah, so ka, not the sha, sa. Right. So if you look, yeah, this right here is sha. Yeah, that's gonna write the one with the S, like a flag. It's called samak. Right there. This one right here. All right, it's a sa, right? Yeah, so we got sa and sha. No problem. But very good though. I like what you're doing over there. You keep it up, man. One day you're gonna replace me as the Hebrew teacher on a Friday in New York. All right. I will definitely make accommodations for that too. We're gonna make you the best brother. You know what I mean? With whatever it is that's capable of you doing. We all gonna share this work on the Hawashai, all right? Good. Hey, let me get the let me go in the concordance, right, and show you the Samach. Look like they spelled it wrong. Because you got some other Israelite brothers, brown skin, just like us, Israelite brothers. You know what I mean? And they're against everything that we teach. You know what I mean? You get down to it, they're against the Bible. You know what I mean? La manasa ipataza kwa rashata. La manasa. Bear with me 1 second. Just want to go check that samak. La manasa. Lamana Sa. I practice Lamana Sa. Okay, here's the Sa. So I'm looking in the Strong's Concordance. I'm gonna resume back to the alphabet, right? But all the words I'm mentioning are from the Strong's Concordance. All right, all the words that the letters represent, right? Those words are found in the Strong's Concordance. Okay, so I go in alphabetical order, in the same order that's on the UPK paper, not what the Jewish man got, because there's no vet in the Strong's Concordance. Doesn't exist. All right, but according to what the UPK has approved, all right. I think Jeremiah Hammer broke it down the other day. The whole world is by the garments of these priests in the UPK. You know what I mean? It is right here. Right? 55, 64. Right? So now we gotta be correcting Yale now, man. Right? And you can see it. They wrote it with a C in here, right? But it ends with a K. That's a K right there. Right? They put a CAMAK, but we're in the section of the Sa Ma Ka. Right? And that Ka right there is the Ka like Ka, like the K. And they even put a K on the end of this one here. Right? But you know, we might gotta mail a letter of discrepancy, man, to Yale, because they put a H. Well, I guess Yale is using what the Jewish community is using, and the Jewish community put an H at the end of their samak, right? With the dot at the bottom, right? To say it's the ka. They spelled the word incorrectly. That's like a straight up spelling error. All right. Let me show you what they did, man. Let me compare it to you, man. I'm gonna write over here. Here's how you write samak for real. Sa ma ka. Right? That's samak. Samak. Right? This is to say establish. Right? They wrote it like this. Sa ma ka. That's how they spelling it. they spelling it. This is wrong. That's what they did. Okay. And Yale University is putting that in their book. So now the UPK, these brothers from the ghetto, gotta correct these noble people, these white people, these allegedly Jewish scholars. All right. Yeah, that's a incorrection. That's what they wrote. All right, right here with the H with the dot at the bottom of it, where they wrote Sameh. That H is a that's an error. All right, no problem. Right, keep going. So the Samak say established for Sa, right? Okay, Lamana Sa Ayan is to say your eye, right? It's the how we get the I in the pronunciation of the Hebrew, or rather, the way we say I in English. The same way how we say I in English is from the Hebrew pronunciation of the character I. Is the one that looks like a circle. This one right here. This I right here. So have you wrote an I? You got some fake Israelites, rebellious, don't know anything, on their own. So it's not Yahweh Shai, it's Yahweh She. Yahweh, straight up, that's what they said to me. You know what I mean? Nutcases on Facebook. It's Yahweh She, because they going, you can't serve two masters, man. You can't love the English culture, right? And trying to get up in Hebrew, right? The word I, for the eye that's in your face. The pronunciation of I EYE, as we spell today, is from the sound of this, because this circle right here is the eye. It's a drawing of an eye. Right? The eye is a ball in your head. And that's what we draw on the our forefathers draw for the character I. All right. And the Hebrew word for it was ayan. Okay. But the Hebrew character is just I. And today, instead of saying ayan, we call it an I. All right. No problem. So we got ayan. They wrote the sound for this is silent. I don't know what that means again. That is insane. I don't sound too silent. It sounds like I got some breath in my mouth and I'm saying I. That ain't silent. I don't know what they doing. Pa is your mouth. Right? They got a fe over here. Ain't no F in Hebrew. Right? Ain't no F. No F words. There's no F in Hebrew, right? All right. Tazada, that's the tazad to say tazad. Tazad to say side. All right. Tazad to say side is a T and Z sound put together. The heathen always write it as a TS. In Japanese, they write it like a TS. Like when you say General Toso chicken, that General Toso chicken says TSO. They always write a TS. Right? According to the King James version, Zephaniah was pronounced more like a Z. All right. So it's TZ, not TS. Okay. La manasa ipataza qua. Qua is for quam. That's according to the lexicon. General Kobalomov showed me that one. Quam. They wrote quaff. I don't know what that is. Quaff. Sounds German and Polish. Russian quaff. But it's supposed to be quam, all right? To say rise. It's the same quam when we say quam yasha Allah. It's the figure of it's a figure of a sun rising on the horizon. So I'm gonna draw for you right now. All right. You know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So let's draw a sun let's draw a horizon. Right, we've got an ocean right here, and then we got the sun coming up. All right. And am I gonna draw it going down, or am I gonna draw it going up? I'm gonna draw it going up. All right. That's the sun. That's the sun rising from the horizon. All right. Even the word horizon got the word rise in it. Quam means rise. All right. That's that quam right here. That quam right here. Qua for quam is the sun rising. That line is say it's going up. Rising on the horizon, all right? Okay. So we got quap. No, they wrote quap, right? Quap. I'm thinking to translate with the F. That's quam, all right? To say rise. Ra'ash is your head, right? Well, I'm gonna say ipataza, quara, sha, shan is your teeth. All right? Teeth. Shan. Okay. Oh, they got two. Why they got two of them? They got a sin and a shin. All right, I don't understand that. Right? Remember, the S is already here in what they wrote sameh. They wrote sameh, samak, right? Samak. That's the S. These people who don't know what they're in, they get confused and write another S down here. They got S1 and S2. You don't know what they're doing, right? It's shan. Shan is sha. That's this right here. All right. That's this right. They wrote two shas. So they go if they had an alphabet song, they gotta say sha twice. That makes no sense. All right. Then they got the tav. That tav is to say thou, like X marks the spot. All right. It was originally written like a X, like a X, like the X marks the spot. Thou. That's that tav they talking about. The last Hebrew character. You might look at it in letters, but we call them characters because they mean a thing. All right. Good. All right. Before I never do it, let me get back to the greeting for the sisters. All right. So, young man Darren, at the end of class, to greet a sister. Let me know if I'm running on too quickly, but we do gotta get that. It's 8:05. Okay. And don't forget everybody to get ready for the Passover coming up. All right, going down to Houston, Texas. I'm gonna erase the Jewish man's error of spelling Samak. I'm gonna remember that forever. Don't let no Jewish man walk up to me. I'm gonna say your alphabet is wrong. You don't have to say Samak. You got 2 shahs and a vet. Put a dot right here, a dotted line rather. Okay. Good. So this is for the brothers. The top is for the brothers. 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 Right? All right. And brothers, Hebrew is Akyum. Akyum. Okay. And then we're going to have the one for the sisters. The sisters. Sisters in Hebrew is Akwathian. Akwath is singular. Sister singular. Right? And the pluralization for woman is Yan. Akwathian. All right. So Ak would have been singular. And then this yum for the brothers, for men, the yum is how you pluralize things, right? For things that are neutral, masculine, right? But when you're talking things that are exclusively about females, the sisters, you pluralize it with a yum. Right? Okay. When I was a trooper and I was being taught this during the Kabbalah's classes, I applied a key, right? So I can remember it better. I put the M equals for men, right? It's not what it actually means, but it was a key that I used to help me remember, right? And for the young, we use an N to say not men, right? This is not for the men, all right? This is a yes, there.
You could repeat brother one more. You could repeat brother one more time.
Which one?
Brother. You could repeat.
Oh, brothers. Brothers is akyum. Let me write it better for you. Akyum. Okay, singular is just ak. Right? Let me partition it off for you. All right. All right. Ak. Right? That's brother's singular, right? Ak is brother. So you hear brothers say it all the time. You kept the Shema and say ak. You say, how you doing, ak? Right? Okay. And the way we wrote it like that with the AHCH is because on the Hebrew alphabet, right? It's to not confuse you with spelling, all the confusion that comes with spelling. You just keep it straight to the Hebrew sheet. AH, right? And you put that together with the Ka, the CHAA, but because the two are connected, it's Ak and not Akar. All right? Hey, shalom, brother. Shalom, Alethio. Shalom. What's going on? Jack, you. What's going on, Jack? You, my sister, Ashley. What's going on? Your quarters are. Right? Good. Jordan, still got your Hebrew sheet? Damn right, brother. Use it. Right? Use it. All right? Use it and learn it. It's yours. Your language. Okay, good. Let me get to the sisters salute, and then I want to go into Genesis 1:21 about the general who was explaining something to us, and I want to bring some clarity to everyone so you can know what he meant about the whales. Okay, so we're all on the same page. And that you can teach it. You can teach what the general taught. You can understand it and teach it to other people. Okay? Good. So the sister salute now is a little different, right? And it starts by saying God's name, Yahweh. Of course, use not the Lord's name in vain. If you say the Lord's name, he will hear it. You hear all what's going on. Right? It's like the Israelites 911. And it works. All right. As I believe Stephen at his last breath, when they were about to stone him to death, right? He prayed to the Lord and said his name. The Lord saved him out of the agony of that by making him die just by natural, just by nothing. He died before he got stoned. The Lord took his breath away. He died right there, and then they stoned him. He got saved the agony of death. All right. Good. Sisters, greeting Yahweh. Shamar Alatha. Shimei Rashai is what we're going to write on the board. Yahweh. Shamar. Shamar is to say, watch. I don't know if you're anybody, you're not from Brooklyn, Darren, right?
Harlem.
From Harlem? Okay.
I live in Harlem.
Oh, definitely, man. Welcome to down the street. All right. You're a Trinidadian?
Yeah.
God, definitely hear that. Our brother right there, Captain Shamawala, he's a Trinidadian also, right?
Yeah. That's what I feel.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Our Shamar Al Asa. Al means over. Al means over. So we take the same I from the sheet, right? And we put the L for Lamad to say Al. This means over. Okay. I believe I want to break this down right quick, right? Being that I might never get a chance to break it down again, but I'm thinking of how it's made. The I, right, and the L. I don't know if you can see, right? The figure of the I and the La. I is for Ayan, right? Which is your eye. Right? And then La is for Lamad, right? Which means learn. When you're trying to learn something, you want to learn something in the city, usually brothers will they'll go on a mountain and look down on the city. Right? They going over the thing. If you wanted to learn anything in science, you put it on a table and you put your eye to learn about what it's doing. Your eye is always over the thing. You're trying to study or learn. All right. So that became I and La together. You're trying to learn something. It became the word to say, we're very picturific people. All right. So the way we do things, we look at you and be like, oh, you look like Kobe Bryant. I bet you shoot hoops. We're people like that. You know what I mean? We take things and we make metaphors with it. All right. So with the I and the La, to say I, and when you're learning a thing, you're always going over a thing. That became the words for over. Right? That was our culture in developing all these words that we got. Okay? All right. Okay, I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna leave that there for a second. The Howard Shamar Al Asa. I'm gonna write the Asa over here before I erase that. I want to erase it too quickly, and people say, "Oh, you erased it too quickly." Howard Shamar Al Asa. Howard Shamar Al Asa. Right here, Asa right here. It's the same Asa we got there. Right, Asa, which is the formal way to say you. All right. And then we'll say Bahashem Hawashai. And then we wanna try to we're gonna analyze the difference between these. Yahweh Bahashem Hawashai Tha, Yahweh Shamar Al Tha, Bahashem. Bahashem. Right? And then we got Yahweh Shai. Also, please do not feel shy to ask a question. Shem, I wrote Shem wrong. I made an error like the Jewish man. The Jewish man wrote Samak wrong. Spelled it wrong. Straight up wrong. Okay. So I'm gonna partition it off the same way I did up here. Right? Ba and Ha is in, and Ha is the, and Sham is name. In the name. And Yahweh Shai will be the name of our king, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus. Okay? Good. Just make sure I'm not missing anything in the question log. Jack, what's going on, sister? What's going on, Jack? Right? Fiery furnace. How about she sharp with thumb? Aisha Shalom says Marcus from Louisiana. What's going on? What's going on? Nazamana. Right? Nazamana. About Shimon Marcus. Yep. Ken G, Oklahoma. Welcome, welcome. Okay, good. Right? Good. And share the class, man. You know what I mean? Share the class. You white people out there watching secretly, share the class too. Share with the Christians. Share how the Jewish man wrote Samak wrong in Yale University. And I showed it in the Strong's Concordance. All right? Show them that the UPK is right. Tucker Carlson is on TV in interviews talking about the Jews are black. The real Jews are black. And Tucker Carlson wants a DNA for all of the people in Williamsburg and Crown Heights to get a DNA test to see whether their DNA matches the archaeology found in the mainland Israel under the ground. Found in them sites where the Israelites have been buried over the years and centuries and generations in history. He was a DNA comparison because Tucker Carlson does not believe that the man who says he's a Jew is the real Jew. Not just him. The man who made the Sefer Bible said that there's an oppression on the real tribe of Judah, the Black Americans. And you can name all the other people. You can name all the black celebrities, right? The real Israelites. Nick Cannon, Kanye West. You know what I mean? Kyrie Irving. But now you got white people saying it. Come on. This country's coming to an end. It's about time our people start waking up. You don't listen to us, listen to the white man. The white man said the Negroes are the real Jews. In their beef with their white brother, they're saying that the Negroes are the real Jews. And those white people are right to have a beef with that one of their brother, because that one of their brother has been treating them wrong. But they treat everybody wrong, even their own brothers. No problem, oppressors. Beef on. All right, go ahead, Darren.
Could get to water, please?
Okay. So let me let's go over all the words that we commonly say. The water. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna erase the top part. Right. I don't know if there are people online. I'm gonna block in the bottom. Make it the bottom so everyone else can see what the bottom says. Salaka, y'all online. Right. What are the marks on some of the letters, vowels? The marks on some of the letters are called a dagesh. All right, that's a good question. All right, let me see if it's in here in the the same book from Yale University. Let me quote the white man for you, Jack. Let me see what they said about their language. I don't know if it's near that same page or was that. I might gotta look into the contents. Okay. Yeah, right here. Okay. So before we said originally only the consonants were used. So what does that mean? Boker Tov is wrong. You got some if you got a fake Israelite saying his name is Ben Yehuda, his name is wrong. His way of thinking about the Israelite language is wrong because he says Ben with an E. And he says Yehuda with a U. Because originally there were no U's. Only the consonants were used. You gotta take out the E, you gotta take out the U. Right? And it says by the time of the, they say Israelite kingdoms, by the time of the Jewish kingdoms, some consonants, Ya, Wa, and Ha, were used to indicate certain vowels. So this is what they did before they had the getch, the dots and the dashes, right? Let me see if I got we got a Hebrew apocrypha in here. I'm gonna see if I still got it here. Let me just run it back right quick so I can give you an example of how they used it before the getches. Oh, I don't see it. I don't see the Hebrew apocrypha that we got, but what they have in the Hebrew apocrypha, they'll have the proper Hebrew at the top, and they have a split to the bottom where it's like a commentary to explain what's going on in the top. Well, I assume it's a commentary because I can't read their fake Hebrew. I can only read the real Hebrew, right? Okay, but from what I read at the beginning of by the contents, it was basically describing that underneath they're trying to explain certain things in their Yiddish, you know what I mean, in the Yiddish at that time, where instead of having a ha and put a dot underneath it to say ka, these things would be a. They add an extra h or a ha to say a, or they have a ya to say I or e. All right, and they put a wa to say o or u. This wa right here is the same way how they made shalom. All right, and fake Israelites took that to say shalom as a greeting, even though shalom is not a greeting in the Bible. Shalom in the Bible is to say making peace. All right, but fake Israelites, they have taken up fake Israelite culture, or the imposters, the man who says he's a Jew. They took their culture and say shalom. They write shalom with 4 letters. Let me just Google it for you, right? They write with 4 letters. They applied what they learned in the UPK to the Jewish man's culture. They've mated the culture, right, with the truth and the world, and they created a fake culture where they greet in shalom. Pictures of shalom. All right, so there we go. There's Google. I got pictures of shalom. All right, and that O is the wa, right? And even in this, right? They've taken the wa to be an O. Okay, I'm gonna show it again. If you want to look at it down, right there, that picture right there at the top. Okay, that's the wa right here that they used to indicate vowels. They take the wa, right, and they made that be the O. Okay, let me show them again, Darren. Okay, they take that wa, and that became the O. to say Shalom, right? Because that's how they pronounced it. So they just wrote the English like how they pronounced it. But to get the pronunciation, they put the Y in there to say O. All right, but that's not how the Israelites greeted. Let me go in the Bible now. We got something called an interlinear app. Okay. Let me go to where it said again. Let me go to Ezra, where it says the greeting. I think it was here. Right, here we go, right here. That piece right there, as a greeting. That piece doesn't have a wa in there. It still says, it says shalom. They're not writing it in like shalom, right? But, you know, there's a man who was saying in Samaria, he's saying to these people beyond the river, shalom, to say peace. Right? He was greeting these people and he said shalom. He didn't say shalom and he didn't say shalom. All right? No problem. But for the other people who think they Jews, right? They put this thing in there. And now what the fake Israelites do now, believing the oppressor over their brothers in the UPK. Right? Right? They said, nah, man, the UPK got it wrong. It's not shalom. It can't be shalom. They didn't believe it was shalom because the UPK, because we're black. So who believes a black person? That's what I gotta say, Tucker Carlson. Because a lot of people out there in the world, you believe white people. You believe whatever white people say is right, and the black people always got it wrong. So you looked at the Jewish man saying shalom and how he writes shalom in Hebrew, and you applied the Lashawan Qadash of consonants only, because you know the Lashawan, the white man again in Yale University said only the vowels was used. Only the consonants were used, not the vowels. All right? Because you're respecting the white man only. So you applied the Lashawan Qadash from the ISUPK and you took Sha, La, Wam in respective to the white man's traditions. All right? You applied the Lashawan Qadash. They applied this Hebrew sheet right here. This thing right here. They applied this. They looked at this and they said, Sha, right? And they said La, right? And they look at it again, and they be like, oh, but there's a wa right there. There's a wa right there. And they go to the wa, right? Where's the wa? Abagada hawa, wa, right? And the wa, I say, oh, there's a wa there. And a ma, right? And it's okay, well, Sha, La, Wam. We're leaving the school. We're creating another group called the House of David. And that's exactly what they did. Right? Following the Jewish man. I believe they wear the belt loop tassels too, because the white man wears it. All right. So that's a little bit of UPK history. They moved out of One West and they went to Bed-Stuy, Bushwick, Brooklyn somewhere over there, and they put on more Jewish culture. All right, where the tassels, greeting in a more Jewish acceptable way. All right, that's what they did. All right, we're gonna get the Tawada, all right, and the common words that we say in here. Right. So whoever don't understand about all these Israelite groups, why can't you all come together? Because the brothers were here and they didn't want to stay here. They didn't want to remain in unity. They wanted to go off and create division. That means don't blame the UPK. Tell them to tell them to do what the Bible said. Learn not the way of the heathen. Tell them to do that, and then we'll be together again. All right, let's do that. All right, you go to Joshua. You go read that second to last chapter, the second to last verse in the second to last chapter, where he says, "The heathen are around you for a snare and a trap." That's what the Lord put them there. He put them right around you to be a snare and a trap. And you got trapped, brother. Get free from the trap, all right? Get out. Like the movie, get out. Get out from that trap, all right? And then we'll be together again. Then we'll have an even bigger Passover. Because we'll have you know, we'll all be one again in the ISBK and the Command Johanna. All right. Why Command Johanna? Because it fell on him when the other brothers got too old and they passed it down to him at the Passover of 1995. They handed the keys to the school to him. All right. So if he got a key, when you go into UPK, you went into his school. Brothers didn't like that at the Passover 1995, what did brothers do? They called it a split. Right? They call it a split. It's like how, who was it? Abraham and Lot? Yeah. They split. Who was the Lord dealing with? Abraham, not Lot. It wasn't a split. It was that Lot left Abraham. And even the same way, Command Johanna still pray for them brothers to come back. But they won't come back.
People have what? All can't come home.
He
did that.
Yes. Yes, sir. He made a cookout. The cookout was made for other Israelite groups to come together, you know, in a park and not debate, but just to be together again. And the brothers from all of the groups that left, because I think you was there 2014, sir, the cookout, right? He called it a unity cookout. What did they do instead? They said, we're not going there. We're going to have a unity summit instead. And invited everybody except UPK. All right. So, you know, why can't we be together again? Because they won't come back. They won't be joined unto Abraham again. All right. I don't think Lot will join back to Abraham again either. Was Lot join back to Abraham again in the story? I don't think he was joined back. He prayed for Lot to escape, and he did. He survived, and I don't read about Lot being joined back to Abraham again after that. All right. All right, no problem. I'm just saying, you know, we pray all Israel all be saved. We pray everybody come back and we all be one again. You know, Black Command Johanna always say, break up your fallow ground. All right, the follow you sit on. Right, break that up and come back. All right, good. Tawada. Tawada is how we say thank you. All right, I'm gonna write it in red. Tawada. Right? Oh, my God. So my bad. So put the Hebrew in red. I look on the board. I look on the screen. Okay. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put the English in red. Thank you. The water is our way of saying thank you. All right. We respond to a thank you with ayan dabar. Ayan. Ayan dabar. All right. This is our way of saying. It's our way of saying you're welcome. All right. You're welcome. Okay. Breaking it down. Ayan means nothing. I'm going to explain. The bar means speak. All right. So in good old New York Israelites in the world culture, right? You will say, hey, good looking out, man. Thank you, man. And the brother will say less. Right? It's kind of like that same kind of thing. It's kind of like say less, right? Or how our Latino brothers say, them brothers are Israelites. Them brothers are Israelites. They say de nada. That's what they say. De nada. To say it's nothing or say nothing. Right? I remember one time, brother was saying, well, oh, this is your error, Cap. When you say no more, say no more, right? Yeah, there you go. Say no more. Yeah, that thing is in the Bible. Where is the Jewish man saying this at? You know what I mean? Say no more. Say less. De nada. You know what I mean? It's nothing. All right? That's what Ayandabar means. Ayandabar means say no more. Say nothing. It's our way of saying you're welcome. Which is a thing that we do. It's to let you know that this is nothing. I'll do it again. It's nothing. You don't owe me anything. You see what I'm saying? All right. That goes right along with that scripture where it says, let every man seek another man's wealth. All right. You don't seek to make yourself rich. You seek to make your brother rich. The Jewish man ran off of that rule. Right. He said he don't believe in the New Testament, but he does that. He seeks another man's wealth. And by doing every man seeking another man's wealth, right, they all became rich. All right. All right. What's another thing we say in here? We say kan adawan kan. You heard it before, Darren?
Yeah.
Kan adawan kan, right? Right. Kan adawan kan. All right. This is our way of saying, sir, yes, sir. It's a thing you say to a man over you. Right? For those out there who hate rank, you go to a job and you become an employee and you have a supervisor. Do you hate your supervisor? Do you hate the rank of your supervisor at your job? You won't say that. But when it comes to the Lord now, all of a sudden, what did Rakash y'all say? Rank schmank. Right? That's a very evil thing to say. Very evil thing. Right? Kind of under one kind is our way of saying, sir, yes, sir. Go ahead, Darren.
Other one means Lord.
Other one means Lord. All right. So in our culture, so sir, yes, sir, is yes, sir, yes. All right. Yes, sir. Sir is to say a man who's over you, right? Lord. Right? And then yes. Okay. Anybody else online, man? You know, you got something you want to break down. Let me have it. All right. I still ain't finished with the sketch for Jack. All right. And we're about to be at the end of class, and I did not get the scripture Genesis 1 and 21. But it's okay, but we're gonna get it now. All right, I'm gonna get the sketch. Yes, sir.
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Okay, Constance, let me run through this right quick. Ayanaba, we went over shalom already, right? Peace. Okay, I'll show you on the phone. Okay, Kana the one kan, Ayanaba. Okay. Let me get the guest right quick. There's something you said to me just now, Darren. Okay, other one is Lord, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What else am I missing? We'll bring them next time, next week, if anything, right? Okay. Okay. So now it says these same letters that we were breaking down, Jack. All right. The ha to say a, the ya to say an I or an e, or the wa to say an o or u. By the way, this wa is how you get a lot of o's in the Bible. Zebulon is one of them. The o is to say the one. Right? Who else got that one in there? Zebulon. Simeon, Shammai 1. Anytime you see that wa in Shammai 1, when we say Shammai 1 and Zabala 1, that one becomes an O, Simeon, right? And Zebul on, right? Hebron, all right? Good, right? These letters continue to be used as consonants as well. Much later in the Middle Ages, that's when the Khazarians became Jewish. A system of dots and dashes, Jack. A system of dots and dashes. Dots and dashes was devised to indicate vowels, to indicate every vowel, because you got the ya for the I and E, confusing. You got the wa for the O and U. So they created a dots and dashes. Dots and dashes system, they say. Devised, thought about to indicate every vowel. That's what they did instead. Okay. This was done by scholars that we call Masoretes. There are a lot of people talk about the Masoretes, right? The Masoretes, they created dots and dashes. They did not change the Lord's name. They created dots and dashes. All right? Good. By the time the text was so sacred, the vowel letters could not be removed, right? They looked at themselves like the real Jews. So they looked at the dots and dashes like, we can't change the Bible. We can't change this. So that goes to show how they think. Right? So when they're looking at the records like it's their ancestors and they see the Lord's name, they ain't changed the Lord's name. All right? They got the records the same. And thank God, man, that they even did that, because with the dots and dashes now, they removed all of extra garbage, hawa and hawa and yas out of there. So now it's back to the original text with just dots and dashes. So now I can look at it and just ignore the dots and dashes, and I'm back to the Hebrew with no vowels, because the vowels are in the dots and dashes. I just read around it. You know what I mean? The Lord is a genius. Cause we got it right now. We got. You get any Tanakh Torah from the white man, you can look at it and read it in real Israelite dialect. I don't want to be wondering about if this is an extra ha or an extra ya in there, an extra wa in there. I looked at some of them Hebrew apocryphas, man, they look crazy with their commentary, but the text at the top, I can read it. You know what I mean? Normally, right? Good. Okay. Could you give me the English transliteration for Aliyah? Aliyah. Okay, and Amara. Okay. That's a trend. The transliteration. That's a good one too. Okay. Let's do it real quickly. I'm gonna write it on the board quickly, right? Write it in red right here. Aliyah. Right? Which is I, La, and Yah. Right? Al is over. Yah is to say me. Al is over. And Yah is to say my, but in how we're thinking it is me, to say over me. All right? Amara. Right? I'm gonna put this the same way. You wrote Amara like this. Amara. Right? To say ma, and Ra is how you say said. Right? Said. Like he said this, he said that. All right? Unless he's talking about names, it's a little different. Names are made according to what the Father was trying to abbreviate with that name. All right? Names are whole sentences. Simeon's name is the Lord has heard that I was hated. But the word hate is not in the name. The Lord's name is not in the name. Right? Right? The Lord hath heard that that is not in the word. I is not in the word. But the word is built around Shammai. Because the Shammai is the herd. The one is to say you're not calling on, you're not saying a vowel, you're saying a name. One means name. Shemai 1. All right. Okay. For the 2 minutes I got left, let me run over the. Let me just go to the scripture. Instead, I don't think we got the time to write it on the board. I'll do it I'll do it from the scripture, right? From the transliteration. We're heading at 8:50, sir.
Yeah. Just wrap up. With that last.
Kalawakan, sir. Okay. So what Jeremiah was showing us yesterday, right? Was in Genesis 1 and 21. Right? Where it says in the scriptures, right? And God created whales. Yeah, man, whales are in the Bible, man. God created whales and every living creature that moveth. This is Genesis 1 and 21. Which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Right? When he was he was breaking down how dinosaurs were so big. Right? This is one of them large creatures that survived, the whale, which was big like a dinosaur. All right, good. And what we do now is we go to the same scripture, Genesis 1 and 21. And he was saying in the Hebrew, it's not whale. So we're gonna read what it says so we can understand what he said properly. Break it down as I go. Let the thing focus up. Hold on. The camera, wait for the camera to focus. So lucky, y'all. There we go. Right? So it says, Wa Ya Bara'ah. Wa is and, Ya is he, Bara'ah is create. Allah Hayam, which means the Lord wasn't doing it himself. The Lord had creatures to work for him. Right? Allah is angel. Allah Hayam. The Yam is the same plural that we talked about on the board. Allah Hayam to say angels plural, right? Af is applying the verb. Af means apply the verb which was create. All right. I don't know if you got a phone too, you might want to get this app too. It's very useful, all right? It's called a Hebrew interlinear. This particular one was made by Hagios Tech, Hagios, Hagios Tech, TECH. Okay, for the Android. I know the Apple, they got another version of the same thing. Right? There we go. It says ha, which is the, and it says Hana Yanam. Right? To say creatures. All right. Ha Gadal Yum. Ha is the, Gadal is how you say big. All right. It's being used as great here, right? Okay. So we go back to the English, right? Let me get the one with the concordance in it. All right. Genesis 1 and 21. We go to whale. It's that one right there. Where it says H8577, which is the Strong's Concordance code. Right? That's the word that was used for whale. All right. Right. The same word is used for dragon. Right. Same word is used for serpent. That serpent is probably an anaconda. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah, it's giant snake or something.
Karawakan, sea monster. Right. That same word that is used for whale is used for sea monster 1 time. Whale 3 times. Dragon 21 times. All right. Ain't no dragon on the water. All right. Serpent 3 times. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. So that's what that is, right? In the concordance, they call it a creature. Okay. Thanayan. Ha. Thanayan nam. Okay. Good. All right. So that doesn't specifically say well, but it's a word to cover these big types of things, right? You know what I mean? Dragon. If I see a dragon, I'm gonna say that's a dinosaur. He was breaking down dinosaurs. Right. All right. Good. And with that, if you could, come on, sir. I'm gonna salute Darren, right? To for coming to class, right? We're gonna the greeting is going, right? I'm saying it slowly with you, right? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, I thought. There we go. Good. All right. Everybody else, I'll see you next week. Shalom.